Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Court. Today we are discussing the top 10 romance books of all time, according to me. And it's my channel and my opinion, so that is what matters here. Now, I couldn't just pick 10, so we have 4 honorable mentions because picking 10 was very difficult. However, there's 4 honorable mentions and then I did number them 10 to 1, 1 being the best. This changes, it fluctuates with time. You just deal with it. This right now is how I'm feeling right now. I'll read more later and it'll change. Or I'll reread one and one will jump to the top. That's just how it is. You just gotta, if you're a reader, you understand. So we're going to start with the honorable mentions and then we're going to go 10 to 1. I'm going to tell you a little bit about each book, and if you haven't read these, you should read all of them. I highly recommend all of them. They are my favorite romances for a reason. Trigger warning, most of them have a very deep emotional side, and that is why they are my favorite. I don't typically like a romance book unless it has a big emotional side to it. So, fair warning. Our first honorable mention is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. It has a new cover. I have the indie cover. The indie cover is stunning. One of my favorite things ever is this cover. This is my favorite accidental pregnancy trope. It happens within the first or second chapter, so it's not a spoiler. They have a one night stand after a Halloween party and she becomes pregnant. However, Beau, the man in this book, steps up and they become friends. And you watch them become friends slash co-parents, even though the baby's not here yet, in a most magical and spectacular way, and they slowly fall for each other. It's beautiful. Hannah Bonham Young's writing in this book is so beautiful. It made me like this trope when I hate it usually. I have not found another book that I like with this trope in it besides this book. Highly recommend that if you do not like the accidental pregnancy trope, please give this book a try. It is beautiful. It also talks about limb deficiencies. Is that the right word? I want to make sure that I am saying it correctly. Limb difference. She has a limb difference. He doesn't have a leg. Both due to different things. But that is a very prominent feature in this book that I really liked as well. Highly recommend this book. Our next honorable mention is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I do have the Steamy Lit special edition of this book. The cover eats. This is my favorite Abby Jimenez book. This has a big anxiety representation in it that I think is dealt with so well and handled so well, and very representative of how anxiety is, even though it's different for everyone. I think it showcases it very well and has the representation very well. Our main characters work together and they start writing letters back and forth to each other, and that's really it. They start off on the wrong foot. She's kind of black cat energy at the beginning and he's very much golden retriever, and there's a dog. It's so good. In typical Abby Jimenez fashion, you will be crying on one page and laughing on the next. The next honorable mention we have is All Roads Lead Here. This is the Eternal Embers copy that Heather did with Eternal Embers. Can we have a moment for this? Right. This is by Mariana Zapata. This is the first Mariana Zapata book I read, and I absolutely loved it. The quote on the back perfectly wraps this book up. I loved him, this quiet man who took care of the people around him in little ways, in little actions that meant everything. This book truly is about the little things, just taking a break and stepping back and looking at life and making sure that you're on the right path for yourself while also finding love. There is a big slow burn. It wouldn't be Mariana Zapata if it wasn't a slow burn, but I really enjoyed it in this book. I haven't read a slow burn like this. Like, they literally don't even kiss until about that much through the book. But I've never read a slow burn as slow as this until Mariana Zapata, but I was literally like gnawing, waiting for it. The tension is so good. I eat it up. I need to read more Mariana Zapata because the tension. The tension. He's also a single dad. He lets her stay on his property because she's new to town. I also think that there is representation of grief in this book, if I'm thinking of it correctly, and that really hit home, and it was just beautiful. and I'm so glad I have this edition because it's stunning. Our last and final honorable mention is Problematic Summer Romance by Allie Hazelwood. I read this earlier this summer. This is by far my favorite Allie Hazelwood book. I don't know where she put in this book. It's literally like, I don't know what's in this book. When I read it, I was the happiest I could be reading it. It was summer. I felt all the vibes, age gap, the Italy setting, the everything. I didn't love Not in Love. This one, it is a second chance. You get past and present timelines a little bit, and it's age gap, brother's best friend. It's just a perfect mixture, and there was so much like angst and tension, and Allie Hazelwood knows how to do that, and I just had so much fun reading this book. Like, I literally was a giggly mess reading this book, and that is the last time that I felt like that reading a book. Haven't felt that way since. So that's why it deserves to be in an honorable mention. I want to reread this book. Those are our honorable mentions, and we're just getting started. Number 10, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This deals heavily with grief as well. However, this deals with our main character, Clementine West, who inherits her aunt's apartment, who has this magical power to jump 7 years in the past. And 7 years in the past, this man is living in this apartment. So sometimes when she comes home, there's just a man. And sometimes when she comes home, it's present day in the apartment and she's by herself. Until she goes and finds this man in present time. I need to do a reread of this book. I annotated it so much. This was my first Ashley Poston book. I loved it so much. Grief was not overpowering, but just enough in this book. The romance didn't feel, it was kind of a subplot at first, but then became something so beautiful in this book. And the 7-year difference in the waiting 7 years and the not knowing what's going to happen because they have this 7-year difference between them, it was spectacular. If you haven't read an Ashley Poston book, I recommend starting with that one. It is so good. Number 9, I don't have a physical copy of because I gifted my physical copy to Heather, actually, because I annotated it for her birthday, but that is, wait for it, this is another Mariana Zapata book. This is my favorite Mariana Zapata book. This deals with our female main character who is taking care of her brother's children because he has passed away. And that right there, that little emotional part of that book is what slightly makes it better for me than All Roads Lead Here. All Roads Lead Here has an emotional part, but it doesn't have the level that Wait For It does. And Dallas Walker, the way he is with these kids, and for her, for Diana, I am Dallas Walker's number one fan. That man, I am obsessed. I loved every second of Wait For It. It is emotional. They are neighbors. He coaches the little boys' baseball team. Yeah. It's another slow burn. They don't get together until the very, very, very end, but it's worth it. The tension and the build-up and the little, like, small touches, the small glances. It's so good. Highly recommend. Again, if you're going to read a Mariana Zapata book, read Wait For It. Number 8, we have a book I talk about all the time that's curated by Nellie Wilson. This is one of my favorite romances, and I will never shut up about it because it does not get the hype that it deserves. This has anxiety representation, SSRI representation. You do not need to be afraid to share how you're feeling with your partner representation. She's black cat energy, he's golden retriever energy. They work together at this college museum. She is a historian, he is a paleontologist. Because of budget cuts, they're forced together in this office space, and she's not happy about it, but he's trying to make the best of it, and then they just can't seem to stay away from each other. It's such a nerdy book, but it also deals with some very hard-hitting topics that need to be discussed, and also it's just so good. I love this book so much. It doesn't get the hype that it deserves. It's on Kindle Unlimited. Literally go pick it up right now. Moving on to number 7 is another book I don't own, but I almost picked it up at Half Price Books this past weekend. You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hochul. I read this book a long time ago, like right when I got into reading, but it has stuck with me. This is one of my favorite second chance stories of all time, and not because they're like apart, but they like try to force each other out of each other's lives. They're planning to get married, but they don't want to get married to each other anymore. So they're trying to force each other to break it off because neither one of them wants to be the one to break it off. And in doing so, they may or may not fall back in love. I'm obsessed with this book. I love it so much. It's literally so good. I don't know what's in this book. I don't know. I literally could probably recite it, and I read it like 3 years ago. I am obsessed with it. And the banter and the witty humor in this book is just so good, and it is refreshing, especially when they're like trying to leave each other, because it's kind of sad if you think about it. But it's so funny. I need to do a reread of this too. I absolutely love this book. Moving into number 6, we have You with a View by Jessica Joyce. This is such an emotional book. This one made me cry a lot, and I think it is because the time that I read it. This follows our main character whose grandmother passes away, and she finds pictures of her and this man that's not her grandfather and posts it on TikTok and finds the man. And the man tells her this epic love story between him and her grandmother that never came to be, but this road trip that they were planning to take. So they take the road trip, and his grandson comes along, who is just so happens to be her arch nemesis from high school. But maybe like actually liked her like the whole time. I don't know. The scenery that is portrayed in this book of the West Coast and their road trip is so special. The grief and how it's handled is, again, just something that I needed at the time that I was reading this, because I had lost my great grandmother around the time that I read this, and it just spoke to me, and I have held on to this book so near and dear. I annotated it. Her laugh made me so happy. The nose tingles with unshed tears, and I close my eyes, trying to remember the exact cadence of her laughter. If that doesn't, I'm gonna start crying. If that doesn't persuade you to read this book, I don't know what will. The exact cadence of her laughter. Do not talk to me. We're down to the top 5. We've had some heavy hitters, and we're down to the top 5. I give pretty good recs. Number 5, Happy Place by Emily Henry. Is this technically a romance book? No. It's a women's fiction book with a subplot of romance. However, I am a sucker for a good second chance romance. And that's what this is. Harriet and Wynne. They are going on this trip, the final trip, to their hangout spot house in Maine with all of their friends from college because it's getting sold. They pretend that they are still together in front of their friends when they are indeed not. But they don't want to tell their friends that they're no longer together, so they have to pretend the whole time that they're there, after not seeing each other. Mind you, there is so much tension in this. Emily Henry's writing is so insane, and what she put in this book, I don't know. Some people hate this book, and it's wild to me that people hate this book. Their opinion is wrong. They can have an opinion, it's just wrong. This book is so good. I need to reread this. I love this book so much. Harriet and Wynne are so special to me, and this is what made me love Second Chance. This and You Deserve Each Other made me love second chance books. So, if you're looking for a good one, read Happy Place. If you haven't yet, if you're looking for a good Emily Henry, read this. If you hate it, because there's mixed opinions on it, I don't know why, lie to me. Moving into number 4, The Right Move by Liz Tomford. You know I had to add a Windy City book on here. I love Windy City with my whole heart. The Right Move is my favorite from that series. It is my number 4 top romance. The way he calls her Blue, the way he tries so hard not to be in a relationship and not to fall for her. He puts her coffee in the fridge because he knows that she doesn't like it hot. He is a professional basketball player in Chicago, and she needed a place to live. Her friend is Stevie from the first book. Stevie offers up her brother's place for a place to live, and they become roommates. Her dad is deaf, and he learns sign language to speak to her dad. That's all I can say. Number 3, we have another sports romance, Unsteady by Peyton Corinne. This book is me to a T. If I was any character ever, I would be Sadie Brown. That's why this book hits so hard. Both Sadie and Reese are going through a really hard time. Reese is coming back off of a very hard injury into his hockey career in college. Sadie is basically the primary caregiver for her younger siblings while trying to balance college and figure skating. and everything else that she has going on. Reese and Sadie meet in the rink early in the morning and bond over music, and they just start to understand each other and to take care of each other. I'm obsessed with this book. It's so gentle. It's so loving. I love this book. There is so much representation, not only on Sadie's side, but also Reese's side because of his PTSD and his panic attacks. It's beautiful. So emotional, but so beautiful. We're down to the last two books. Number 2, The Two of Us by Taylor Torres. This was my favorite book of 2023, 2024, something like that. This is another second chance romance. Shocker. This follows our main character Mara, who moves home to care for her sick dad, and Ambrose, her best friend's brother, still lives in the house next door. They're neighbors. They ended off on the wrong foot. There's a lot of past that gets dug up in these pages before you're like, ooh, maybe they aren't supposed to be together. Trust me, the writing in this is very beautiful. It's very soft spoken, but there's such a bigger picture at play, and the ending had me shook to my core. There's like something that happens in this book that I didn't see coming, and it felt like a movie. That's how good this was. I think about this book constantly. It's so good. I love it so much. That's why it's number 2. And finally, our number 1 book, if you haven't guessed it, is Left of Forever by Tara DeWitt. I just read this book, I know, but this book, there is something special about this book. I literally keep coming over here and picking up this book to read my annotations because I don't want to let these characters go. This book is so good. This is another second chance romance. It is about Elias and Ren, who are parents to this little boy who's going off to college. He's not little, he's going to college, but they're taking him to college, and they plan a road trip back to their town from taking him to college. And Elias has this all planned out to try to win her back, and he keeps calling her his wife the entire book. They're divorced. And he keeps telling everybody, he's like, yeah, me and my wife, that's my wife. Ah! You get to see how having a child at a young age really affected these characters and what pushed them apart. And this is one of those second chance romances where I was like, oh, they needed that time apart and they're better for it, and they're going to be better together because of it now that they're getting back and finding their way back to each other. It was so beautiful. Literally perfection in a romance book. If you read anything from this list, please let it be this one. This is spectacular. That's all. And the whole town is literally rooting for them. It's so cute. Literally so cute. Well, that wraps up my top 10 romance books of all time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment your top romance books of all time. If you have any thoughts on these, let me know in the comments as well. If you want to find me anywhere else on the internet, all my socials are linked in the description below, and I'll hopefully see you guys in my next video real soon. Bye guys!